is Evan, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a good day so far. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. My name is Diana and I am a Canadian expat living and working in Berlin, Germany. I've been here for almost 4 years, but on my channel you can find videos all about the German culture, tips on how to move to Germany, and also tips on how to get a job here. So if you're into that type of content, you're interested in all things Germany, make sure to stick around. But for today's video, I'm going to be talking about some things that still surprise me about Germany. I feel like no matter how long I stay here for, I'm always going to be shocked by certain things and I'm always going to be learning new things. That's one of the best things in my opinion about moving abroad, is that you never fully learn everything about a culture within 1 year or 2 years. It could probably take you a whole lifetime to learn certain things, and I am no exception to that. I am constantly learning and I am constantly just naturally comparing things to back home and how things were done back home versus here. So I wanted to share with you guys some more things that still surprise me that I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about in the past. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So one of the first things that still shocks me, and I don't know if I'll ever get used to this because in my mind it's so wrong, and it is that holidays can just be skipped here. So let me break it down for you and tell you exactly what I mean by that. Essentially, if there is a public holiday and it happens to fall on a Saturday or Sunday, then too bad, you do not get a work day off for that holiday. You're at a loss because it happened to fall on a day that wasn't a work day. And in my mind, this is so weird because back home in Canada, if let's say a major public holiday falls on a Saturday or Sunday, then the employer is still required to give you that work day off, and they can either give you the Monday off or the Friday off so that you still get at least a holiday or a long weekend to celebrate that public holiday, because it's not your fault that it happened to fall on a Saturday or a Sunday. But in Germany, it's totally the opposite. If it happens to fall on the weekend, well, too bad, and the employer is not required to give you a work day off because you already had the day off. I first experienced this shock during my first year of living here because if I remember correctly, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve happened to be on a Sunday. So you kind of just weren't given, the next Monday off or an additional day off to make up for that holiday. But I want to know from my German followers, do you think that it's weird at all that you just miss out on these holidays, or do you think it's completely fair? Because I've spoken to a lot of expats, specifically those from Canada and the US, and to them, they still find it weird. And again, I just don't think it's something I'm gonna get adjusted to. I mean, I have to deal with it obviously, but it just kind of sucks, especially when you want to take advantage of those public holidays and take maybe a longer vacation and not have to use up as many vacation days, but you kind of get screwed over. So the next thing I want to talk about is also related to holidays and special events. And I feel like I'm sort of in a bit of a nostalgic mood right now because this year has been so weird, and I always look forward to holidays and to special events to mark certain seasons and to have a reason to celebrate or do something a little bit extra, just in my true Canadian North American form. But here in Germany, it is very different when it comes to celebrating, random holidays like Halloween or Valentine's Day, even fall. People here don't really celebrate these seasons or these events. It's not so much of a consumerist holiday like it is in Canada and the US. Right now, if you go to any store in Canada, you will see pumpkin spice everything. You will see Halloween decorations everywhere, and every event that happens or every season is a big thing. People will redecorate their homes for certain seasons. They'll get new cushions to go along with the fall theme colors. They will get decorations for their houses, and then when Christmas comes around, they'll go all out there. And then when spring comes around, they'll also redecorate. So people there love doing themed everything. And here, that's just really not the case. If you go to a grocery store here or to a store, you might see some small decorations, but you're not bombarded with this everywhere you go. And people certainly do not take it to an extreme, I guess, and decorate their whole house as a theme. So that was shocking to me too when I first moved here, because I always loved Halloween and I loved decorating for Halloween, and I even, I guess was basic and I liked all of the fall drinks that came out. And when I came here, that just really wasn't the case. I was actually reminded of this last year when I went to Seattle for a conference, and I went during the fall time, and everything was just decked out in Halloween decorations and, pumpkin spice everything. And yeah, it just reminded me of how we don't really have that here in Germany. So yeah, I definitely do miss that, because it just adds something really fun to the season or the time of the year that you're in. And I know especially right now, given the fact that everything is a bit weird, I'm on Instagram and I'm seeing people, decorate for fall and at least try to make the most out of this year. And here you just don't really get that sense. And again, it might be a very, stupid thing to talk about, but hey, I know that a lot of expats also agree with me here. I remember once at work, somebody asked me, where's a good place to get your nails done, because they wanted to get Valentine's Day themed nails. And I was like, oh, actually, I've never really thought about doing that here, because back home, if it's a theme, again, you'll decorate your nails for that theme. And here, again, people just don't do that. Of course, Germans do celebrate Christmas and they go all out with the decorations and the Christmas markets. And even during Easter, you'll find some decorations too. But for other, holidays that are not as traditional, like Valentine's Day, like seasons of the year, or even things like Halloween, you're just not going to be able to find decorations. So if you are moving from abroad and you want to keep some of that sentimental aspect and be able to decorate your house accordingly, then it may be worth bringing over some of those things, because you'll probably have a harder time finding it here. And then the last thing that surprised me about Germany the last thing that has really surprised me and then the last thing that not a lot of people talk about, but is still quite surprising, is how different Germans view health and wellness in comparison to people in North America, like Canada and the US. What I mean by this is, back home, people are really into dieting, trying new fad diets, trying new smoothies and superfoods and taking vitamins. It is a huge industry over there that makes millions and millions of dollars, because people are so into trying the latest things in order to up their health and to feel better and stronger. Whereas here, it's a lot more basic. I don't think I really ever see a sign for vitamins here or for the latest superfoods. I've never had a chat really with somebody here who is talking about the latest diet, like, oh, have you heard about the keto diet, and are you trying this? It's really not something that people worry about or even think about doing. And this probably has a lot to do with the media, of course, but coming here and then seeing that people don't really worry about that so much and really like to simplify what they do in order to stay healthy is actually really, really refreshing, and also just very cost efficient because you are not bombarded with a ton of ads to buy the latest health supplements or the latest vitamins or the latest smoothie. Pretty much what Germans do is try to maintain as active as possible every single day. So whether that means going out for a short walk around the neighborhood or going for a jog or going to the sauna, that's what they view as being healthy and taking care of themselves. And they're not necessarily worried about losing weight as much as people are back home. I feel like over there back home, people are so consumed by this that it stresses them out. They're constantly worried about their body image, and it leads to a really unhealthy lifestyle, especially for people who are constantly trying new diets. And there are so many diets that, for instance, are endorsed by celebrities, and people are constantly trying to keep up with that. And coming here and seeing how relaxed people are when it comes to health and wellness, and how people are actually a lot more active here and a lot healthier in the grand scheme of things is really, really nice to see. And it's just adds to the whole laid back lifestyle approach that Germans do have. And it's less of a mind fuck really for your mental health, because you're not constantly comparing yourself to other people or trying to jump on the latest bandwagon or the latest health trend. And here it's all about, if you can go to the sauna, once or twice a week, then you're probably doing the right thing. Or even just go for a jog and maybe in the evening get a beer, and it's as simple as that. You don't really have to overthink it. And yeah, that's the views on health and wellness, which are so different. But I've never really heard of anybody talk about this, and I wanted to bring it up because, like I said, it is a really nice aspect of being here, and really just not having to think about that and not being bombarded with so much media when it comes to this and so many ads when it comes to health and wellness is pretty cool. And I do get some culture shock or reverse culture shock when I go back home, or I even speak to friends back home and they're constantly on diets and constantly struggling with their weight or trying to figure out how to be as healthy as possible, when it could be as simple as just being more active in your everyday life, and you don't have to go to any extreme. So yeah guys, that's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about today. Things that still surprise me about Germany and the German culture. So in case you are planning to move here, just be aware these are things that might shock you as well. But for any of you who are interested in seriously moving here, I am currently offering one-on-one private coaching calls. So you and I can chat, we can go through your questions about moving here, finding a job here, what the German lifestyle is like. So make sure to go ahead and check the link down below to secure your booking. And that's gonna be all. I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Cheers!